Welcome back to One English Cloud. Today, we are going to explore a new lesson, The Journey. A heart-touching masterpiece from 3rd unit of 10th class English textbook for the Telangana State Board students. Resting at home on a Sunday makes the thought of Monday morning exhausting. When a holiday lasts for months, it is even harder to move. That was exactly how he felt while preparing to return to work after a 6-month stay at home. The thought of leaving his newlywed wife behind to go to a far-off place was unbearable. Obviously, he did not want to go. However, he finally decided to go. He did not have much to carry by way of luggage, just a trunk. Theirs was a hilly terrain without any motorable roads, and there was no confidence that they were ever going to have any. In any case, while coming home, people did not carry bedding. Besides, he had come home this time around for a special purpose, to get married. His parents had arranged his marriage according to the customs of their tribal society. Time flew, and he realized that 5 months had already passed since his marriage. Initially, he thought of extending his leave, even taking unpaid leave. After wasting a long time making a decision, he finally decided against it because marriage had increased his responsibilities and he had got into debt. On his way home from the bus stop, a porter had carried his trunk. But now, he couldn't find anyone to carry the trunk to the bus stop because most of the villagers were busy in the fields. Nobody had time to spare for him. In truth, carrying the trunk should not have been a worry. He was a young man, and carrying a 20-kilogram chest on his back should have been easy. However, his education had made him avoid physical labor. He was a government officer now, and the idea of people seeing him carry his own luggage was embarrassing. Finally, his father came up with a solution. He decided to see his son off at Dirang himself. The young man protested. How could he allow his old father to carry his trunk? What would people think? What would they say? But he failed to stop his father. It was decided that his father would carry the chest. A large crowd gathered at their place to wish him luck. It was 10:20 when he left for Dirang. His father had already left. The young man walked fast. 3 kilometers down the road, he caught up with his father. His father said, "You are late. Would you like to rest for some time?" Having walked fast, the young man was tired. Moreover, he had to cross 2 hills on the way up to the bus stop. He quickly sat down on a rock. His father laughed at his condition. "So, this little distance has tired you? Rest for a while. But we have to be on time for the bus." The old man was silent for some time. He thoughtfully looked at the son for a moment, and then his eyes fell on the can of homemade wine that his son was carrying. Wetting his lips with his tongue, he said that he was thirsty. The son gave him the can of wine. The old man poured himself a mug, handed the can back to the young man, and drank all of it at one go. He then arranged the belt that was attached to the trunk carefully on his forehead. The old man was carrying his son's luggage on his back, and the son was following him with a tiny bag in his hand. They were walking up a narrow hilly road, and neither of them spoke a word, as if they were strangers who spoke different languages. From time to time, the young man felt that it was improper for him to let his father carry the luggage. He wanted to tell his father that he would like to carry the trunk himself, but his guilt and shame did not allow him to do so. This self-consciousness probably had to do with his education, the white-collar job that he had, or quite simply his pride. Somehow, he had the feeling that if he carried the luggage, his father and his people, in fact, the whole world, would laugh and look down on him. His father had provided for his education and made him achieve his dreams. his parents were truly proud of him. It was through him that they had earned respect from the villagers. His father would not like to see him carrying a trunk on his back, and would be very hurt if the young man did so. The young man concluded that it would be better to let his father carry it. His father was used to carrying luggage anyway. He was stronger and more skilled than the son in these matters. The young man had never become used to physical labor, having stayed in hostels right from his childhood. So, he was physically unfit for it. He continued walking silently with his father. They rested at two places on the way and had their tiffin, but they hardly talked. Finally, they reached Dirang. The bus from Tawang had not yet reached Dirang, and so they had some time in hand. They entered a tea shop and sat, facing each other. His father appeared tired. The young man felt sorry for his father but couldn't say anything. He asked the waiter to get them 2 cups of tea. Just as he was going to take his first sip, he heard his father's voice, "Do you have a pair of old shoes?" "Why?" the son asked. "The road is uneven and full of pebbles. It hurts while walking," said the old man. He looked at his father's bare feet. Because his father had never worn shoes, his feet had developed cracks and somehow looked like those of an elephant. He noticed this for the first time. The young man was wearing a pair of hunting boots. He checked his wallet and saw he still had around 40 rupees with him. A pair of canvas shoes would cost around 12 rupees, and the remaining amount would be enough for him to get to Bomdila. His father protested. "Give me an old pair. You don't have to spend money on new shoes." He could not persuade his father to buy a new pair. Reluctantly, he gave him the hunting boots he was wearing, then took out a pair of leather shoes from the trunk to wear. He noticed his father's face lighting up with satisfaction. Suddenly, the old man looked at his son and said, "Take care. Write to us." His father wanted to say something more, but the bus started moving. The young man saw his father gradually moving distant. He saw that the road they had come by looked like a giant, motionless rope. His father would use the same road to go back home. Simultaneously, their journeys started in two opposite directions, with the son seated in the luxurious bus and his father walking back with weary legs on the pebble-strewn road. Hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to attempt the online quiz. It helps you assess your understanding. Link is available in the description. Thanks for watching.